It's Sunday, exactly 1 week before Christmas, when Heather Brown calls her sister, Ashley. There was no answer.
We talked on the phone almost every day.
Heather is extremely close with her big sis, 27-year-old Ashley Brown, who is currently living in Nashville and working as a surgical technician at St. Thomas Hospital. Ashley has been there 9 months and adores her job, according to her family back in Tucson, Arizona.
She just loved what she was doing, and she was so happy being able to travel everywhere, and that was just such a highlight of her life.
And she is making a lot of new friends.
She loved being around people, very outgoing, and she always loved to smile and laugh and have a good time.
And a good time is the plan for Friday night. Ashley and a group of friends intend to celebrate their December birthdays and Christmas by taking a ride on the Holly Trolley festive transit buses running through Music City's historic downtown Franklin.
They took a trolley to go watch all the Christmas lights.
And after that,
They went to a local pub there. It's called Santa's.
after spending an hour or so at the popular Nashville bar, the group heads to an after party at a friend's apartment near Vanderbilt University.
Then they all took a Uber back to the friend's apartment, and sometime in the middle of the night,
Ashley vanishes. Saturday comes and goes. It's now Sunday when Heather makes that call to her sister, which is never returned.
And that's when I started to get really worried.
Panicked, Heather calls her stepmom.
we got a call from Ashley's sister saying that Ashley was missing, that nobody could find her.
Amy contacts people who were at the party with her stepdaughter, and that's when she gets some disturbing news.
They were cleaning up the apartment and realized her purse was still there,
along with Ashley's wallet and car keys.
We knew something was wrong.
The family files a missing persons report and holds out hope that Ashley will show up to work the very next day.
We finally got a hold of her work and found out she hadn't been to work. It wasn't like her to miss work.
Susan Albritton works with Ashley at St. Thomas Hospital.
She was part of my team. It was a really tough time to be here at work because our thoughts really were on her and finding her.
Feeling helpless back in Tucson, the Browns take immediate action.
We were on the next flight to Nashville to try to find her.
But once Trevor and Amy Brown touch down in Nashville, they're at a loss for what to do next.
There's no manual on how to search for your missing child.
So they begin where their daughter was last seen, the Park Central Apartments on 25th Avenue North.
We were doing anything and everything we could think of. And the biggest thing that we could think of is to get her face out and to talk to people. So we just gotten a batch of flyers.
It's now Wednesday and 4 days since anyone has seen or heard from the 27-year-old surgical tech. But then there's word.
We got a phone call.
But it's not the kind of word they're hoping for.
And the guy introduced himself as the chaplain. And the next words he said, I really didn't register because knew at that point that, and then he said that they found her body.
Sadly, Ashley Brown is dead.
Disbelief and heartbreak. And
Ashley's body is discovered 5 miles away from the apartment building where she disappeared. But when the Browns asked the coroner where exactly their daughter's body was found,
he wouldn't tell us. He finally gave us a street she was found on. We went ahead and drove to that street, and that's when we saw
a parent's worst nightmare.
that it was a trash facility.
It's hard enough to say they found her body, but like I said, when we rounded that corner in the car and just saw the piles of trash, it was devastating.
Then Trevor and Amy have to break the horrific news to the rest of the family still back in Tucson.
Those phone calls were probably the hardest.
Ashley's sister Heather receives one of the first calls.
Knowing that someone threw my sister away is the most heartbreaking thing. It doesn't make sense.
But trying to make sense of this seemingly senseless crime is Nashville's Metro PD, and they may not have to look very far.
The only thing I want to know is why.
27-year-old surgical technician Ashley Brown goes missing after a night out with friends to celebrate the holidays and her upcoming birthday.
It's just hard to believe that she's gone.
Tragically, 4 days later, her body is found in a heap at a local dump site.
It's something indescribable. There's just an empty feeling inside.
Reports of the grisly discovery dominate Music City's news headlines.
From the minute we found out about this, we have been covering it.
News anchor Erica Curry is with our affiliate WZTV.
Ashley was found at a refuse facility on the other end of town from where she disappeared.
But how in the world did Ashley's body end up miles away in a pile of trash?
Law enforcement, they believe that her body was first dumped in a trash bin outside of the apartment complex.
It's hard just how somebody can throw someone away.
And while it's a heartbreaking discovery, Ashley's stepmother remains grateful.
We were seconds away from never finding her, and well, this is all very hard. We're just very fortunate that she was found.
Sadly, Ashley's found just a day before what would have been her 28th birthday and 4 days before Christmas.
When she went missing, she was supposed to come down, and we were going to celebrate Christmas and her birthday and everything.
Now, Ashley's family is left to search for answers. They start with the people who were with Ashley on the night she disappeared.
There was one girl she knew from the hospital, and the rest of them she just met that night.
Virtual strangers to Ashley, and perhaps something else.
Someone at that apartment knows what happened.
But if they do, they aren't talking to the Browns.
We've not spoken with anybody that was at the party.
Piecing together tidbits of information, they believe Ashley stepped out of the party around 4 a.m. on Saturday to possibly take a smoke break. But that's about all they have to go on concerning their daughter's timeline of terror.
What about the woman whose apartment it was?
We had texted with her when we first got there, and we were supposed to meet up with her, and she was going to show us the apartment.
Then suddenly the woman changes her mind.
She did not feel comfortable meeting us anymore unless the police were present.
She shut down.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
And at this point, Ashley's parents don't even know how their daughter died. Ashley's autopsy is ruled inconclusive. More frustration for a heartbroken family.
I just want to know.
Then a stunning turn of events, right in the middle of my interview with Ashley's father.
That was a detective. I barely missed it.
Hello, this is Trevor. We're right in the middle of talking with Crime Watch. All right, so
Could you just tell us what you just found out? That just in this moment you didn't know, and now
we didn't. Nothing official had been released.
And now just
so
this moment.
Now they're saying that it's definitely being reclassified.
I immediately get Metro PD's Detective Matthew Filter back on the phone to find out more, and it's a shocking revelation about Ashley's last moments alive.
This is Narissa Knight with Crime Watch Daily, sir. We were just talking to Trevor and Amy about Ashley. What are you releasing at this time?
The autopsy report is classifying it as a homicide.
That's right. Ashley Brown was murdered, and it was brutal.
And what was the cause of death?
Cause of death is blunt force injuries and strangulation.
And do you have any new leads or any other new information?
I can't discuss that. It's an open investigation right now.
Thank you, Detective Filter.
Still, so many questions remain.
I think anytime you have a murder like this with a young, beautiful girl, she had a great job. She was helping people. Her career was to make people feel better. And so just knowing that someone like that was taken from us here in our own town, we want to know who did this and why.
The answers never come. Then 2 months later, it's deadly deja vu.
Tiffany Ferguson was found stabbed to death 6 times in her apartment, also on the west side of town.
What we believe, the door was probably left unlocked. We know that the victim was out socializing into the night.
Tiffany's condo is just 3 miles from the apartment building where Ashley vanished, and that's not the only thing the women have in common.
The girls worked at the same hospital. They were killed just 2 months apart in a really similar area of town. Both areas, very nice areas of town.
Coincidence?
Friends, neighbors, a lot of people in the area wondering if these 2 cases were connected. They had a lot of similarities.
But one big difference? A suspect, and he's caught frame by frame on surveillance cameras. The video shows the mystery man walking just outside the apartment gate moments before the savage attack on 22-year-old Tiffany Ferguson.
We did receive a lot of information from the community based on the video that was released.
The Metro Police Department calls an urgent news conference.
Hopefully everybody can rest a little bit easier, as it appears that we've got some great work done by the department and a suspect in this case.
Cops ID the man on the surveillance video as 24-year-old drifter Christopher McLawhorn.
It did appear that he was walking in that direction. We believe he was trying apartment doors looking for easy access, and that this particular apartment door was open to him. So we think he was there committing burglaries, and during the course of the burglary of Ms. Ferguson's apartment, he committed a murder.
Christopher McLawhorn is arrested and charged with the murder of Tiffany Ferguson. But is it possible he's killed before? And could Ashley Brown be one of those victims?
A lot of their neighbors were concerned, their coworkers were concerned, people were scared.
After an extensive investigation, more disappointing news for the Browns. The Metro Police say at this time there is nothing to indicate Ashley and Tiffany's murders are related, leaving the Brown family empty once again, starting over in their search for a killer.
We have to live with her absence the rest of our lives. And that will always be something that's in our hearts and in our minds is why.